All right, in today's video reference, I'm really excited to teach you about one of my favorite topics in 8th grade, which is slope. So right over here, slope is referred to in mathematics by the variable m. I don't really know why, but whenever you see an m, they're asking for the slope. You probably heard this last year in 7th grade. Slope is really a ratio of the rise divided by the run. So when you're looking at a line, you're looking at rise over run, and we're going to use this in our one of our first examples. This was the formula for slope that you use when you're copying this down. Given 2 points. So basically, we'll talk about it in a second, but we'll just know that you find the rise, which is your change in y. So actually, let's write this down now. This is delta y, your change in y. y2 minus y1. That's and raise your hand. The y-axis, does that control left or right when you're moving, or up and down? Yeah, up and down. So that's your rise, and then your run. You find your difference in your x values. That'll be your run. And raise your hand. What does your x control, left or right, or up and down? Left and right, so that's your run. Okay, so first thing we're going to fill in here is slope is a number that measures the rate of change. So a lot of times in MCAS, they'll ask you for the rate of change, and they're looking for rate of change. They're looking for slope, so your M. In 7th grade, you might have called it the constant of proportionality, but COP. But in 8th grade now, we refer to it as the ROC, rate of change. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video here, and to get some more basics on slope, we're going to introduce Slope Dude and his awesome analogy between skiing and slope, and we'll look at some videos that other kids made last year. All right, hope you enjoyed Slope Dude. Here is the basics now, much easier that you see that. So a slope is a positive. If slope is positive, then the line from left to right, how would it move, up or down? If it's positive, it's puff positive, so it's up. So if it's negative from left to right, how does it move? Nice, negative goes down. So the greater the slope, the steeper the line. So raise your hand, what would happen if the slope was less steep? Yeah, then the slope would have to be, I don't know, how would you write this? The smaller. So an example of a pretty large slope would be like 3 or 5, but a small slope would be like maybe 3/4, 1/4, 2/5. Those are all small slopes. Again, going back to Slope Dude, if a line is horizontal, then is the slope 0 or that curse word undefined? Yeah, it's 0. And a vertical line on the count of 3 is 1, 2, 3. Undefined. If I can spell that, I really can. Undefined. All right. So now here's your first example of finding slope from just 2 points. And we'll go into the guided note. So we're going to copy down the formula. Slope, or m, equals y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So the first thing I always do is label my coordinates by the first x, x1, my first y, y2. I'm sorry, y1. All right, and then this would be x2 and y2. So I also like to, when I'm filling out the formula, I usually put arrows. So here, I know this part's going to be y2 minus y1. So I'm going to subtract those two. So I'm going to plug that in and do -2 minus 7. All right, raise your hand. Does someone want to be able to tell me what would be the change in x? What would I subtract, I should say? So yeah, I'm going to subtract 5 minus negative 3. All right, so now to actually find the slope, I just need to subtract and then simplify after. So can anyone tell me what's negative 2 minus 7? Hopefully you said negative 9, because you got to go change the sign, change to addition, change the sign, so this would be like that. And then how about here, 5 minus negative 3? That would be 8, because it comes out to this. That can be simplified, but to be honest with you, we usually just write slope as a ratio. So this would be y equals, if you wrote an equation, negative 9/8 x.